So Bart, I'm looking forward to reading your book. From the people who have read it, I understand there's a lot of common sense, common courtesy even, but I'm not sure I understand the title. Most people don't and why you should, right? What's that all about?
It's a very simple message, but it's something that most people are not doing. So think about people you interact with, friends or colleagues. Most people don't follow up.
Yep.
Most people don't do what they say that they're going to do. Most people don't say thank you. So if you or anyone else can do what other people are not doing, it's going to differentiate you and make you a better person and have better relationships.
I get it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for joining us. I'm speaking with Bart Berkey, author and luxury hotelier. Bart, welcome.
Thank you, Bill.
And also, I should say, author of a just published book. What's the title?
The title is Most People Don't and Why You Should.
Fascinating. We got to learn more about that, which leads me to the question, what prompted you to write a book?
I think growing up in the industry, the meetings and hospitality industry, I didn't really ever have a mentor per se. So I would talk to different people about getting different ideas, but not at one point did I have someone that would give me advice all the way through my career. In thinking about it, I thought, wouldn't it be nice if I would then be able to share, if you've ever heard the line, if I knew then what I now know. I could be able to help others by sharing real life stories to be able to help people kind of circumnavigate maybe some of the obstacles that I was challenged with and be able to experience some success and some happiness in our industry rather quickly without having to go through all the hurdles.
I mean, you've spent a lot of time in the company of or calling out event and meeting planners. So you know how they operate, what makes them tick, and how motivated they all seem to be. So is there advice in the book for how they too can, these are people who don't do what other people do.
It's more along the lines to share best practices and stories of how people can do better.
Right.
So from a meeting planner example, there's one chapter in the book that's called Book My Meeting But Don't Talk to Me. And while we want to make sure that we all continue to embrace technology, and sitting in this room, you can see how important it is and valuable to the industry, but there are many meeting planners that don't want to have the two-way communication to talk to people. So here are all my details, and I would like you to be able to book my meeting, but don't call to ask me any questions about if I'm flexible. Don't call to ask me what the attendees are expecting, what my vision is of the meeting or of the event, the purpose of it, the goal of the organization. And I think sometimes because we are so transactionally driven, because we're also very, very busy, we probably need to stop and say, is there a better way for me to communicate what my needs are? Or could I set up office hours even to be able to answer some questions? Or could I come up with a frequently asked question sheet to send out? So people are allowed to have that two-way dialogue. And while I respect that people are working different hours in different continents, I do believe, especially from a sales perspective, you want to be able to have that dialogue. You want to sense the tonality, and you want to have the face-to-face. So we need to use technology to become more efficient to build stronger relationships, not to build barriers.
And the question I would have for you as we kind of wrap up is, how do you make those changes lasting? Because I could see answering those questions and say, like all New Year's resolutions, you know, I want to get fit and.
Right. I think the easiest way, and on my website, bartberkey.net, there are different forms that individuals can download. The easiest way that I can explain this is children at a very young age are taught 3 numbers on a phone to dial if they need help, and that's 911. Most people don't. The acronym is MPD. And that's all that's the major takeaway, because our lives are so busy with so many different details. I simply ask people to remember the acronym MPD. Most people don't. And when you think about most people don't, what can you do that others are not doing? In your mind, it's going to stay. I've had readers that have looked at, there's a gentleman who owns a juice bar in India, and he sent me a note and he said, every single week I read your stories to my staff, because we want to make sure that we are the best juice bar in India. So we're going to do what other people are not doing. And the last thing I'd like to say is that One book review critic actually read the book and said that it's a perfect blend between a Seinfeld episode and the book Who Moved My Cheese? So it's simplistic in a way that people can understand it. There's different chapters such as leadership lessons learned on a racetrack, I'm allergic to gorillas, my dog's feet smell like Fritos, and it's might sound like very unique titles, but there are life lessons in there. And each chapter ends with a most people don't. And if you do what most people are not doing, you're going to feel better, you're going to have better relationships, you have better opportunities for jobs, and I think it'll make the world a better place.
Fantastic, fantastic. Bart, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate
We've
it.
been speaking with Bart Berkey, author and luxury hotelier. He would be happy to promote and explain the book to you. You can schedule a book promotional visit, or you can order the book if you go to bartberkey.net. Again, Bart, thank you so much.
Thank you, Bill.